The Royal Rumble tomorrow not only kicks off WWE's first pay-per-view for the year, but kicks off the first pay-per-view for the new decade. You guys have been asking for this to come to my channel for a very long time, and I figured what better way to kick things off than pointing our attention at tomorrow's pay-per-view. My name is ArghGodzirra, and this is my predictions video for the 2020 Royal Rumble.
His name is ArghGodzirra.
What's going on, Godzirra Nation? This is ArghGodzirra, and today we bring about the beginning of a series that has been in the making for a very long time. We've done AFL prediction videos before where each and every week we tip who we think is going to win. And when it came to those particular videos, a core group of you reached out and turned around and said, Godzirra, you're a big fan of wrestling, aren't you? Well, yes I am, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if you're a big fan of wrestling, why don't you start doing WWE and other promotion pay-per-view prediction videos where you predict who is going to win those matches? So ladies and gentlemen, your voices have been heard, and that is exactly what we are doing today. Kicking it off with the 2020 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Now, I just mentioned I'm a huge wrestling fan, and while over the years there might be a few pay-per-views that I have missed here and there, when it has come to the Royal Rumble, I have never missed sitting down and watching one of these live. One of my favourite events on the WWE calendar each and every year, and this year is no different. Not only am I hoping we get predictions right here for the sake of the video, but I'm hoping the superstars that I select to win today further progress storylines and build up to a really big WrestleMania this year. Fingers crossed. Before we dive in and start putting my predictions up on the screen, I'm going to flip the script and turn it over to you guys. In the comment section down below, it is going to be well and truly open for you guys to put your own predictions down there. Whether you want to go through each and every match like I am, or whether you just want to let me know who you think will win the men and women's Royal Rumble matches. Whatever it may be, just let me know in the comment section down below. That's all I'm asking. However, it's time to turn our attention to the main card of the Royal Rumble event. At this point in time, I haven't seen any kickoff show matches announced or anything along those lines, so I'm only going based off of what I see written in stone as the confirmed matches for the card. We're going to kick things off with Sheamus taking on Shorty G. And I just loved how Shorty G sold that bro kick when Sheamus made his return on SmackDown. Although my gut tells me this is going to be the typical small man overcomes the big man and Shorty G is going to get a little bit of a push, I am still going to back Sheamus to come out of this as the winner, purely because of the fact that I don't see WWE having someone of the caliber of Sheamus returning to their first pay-per-view in God knows how long and lying on their back to give someone else the win. If you really want to build Sheamus up as the superstar that is coming back, that is really unhappy with the state of the locker room, that hates the fact that the little men are starting to get that big push, Sheamus needs to win this match to assert some dominance back on the roster. I could be completely wrong. My first ever prediction here could be completely out the window already before we've started, but I'm backing Sheamus to pick up the pinfall over Shorty G. Roman Reigns then takes on King Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match. We know Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode are going to get involved with King Corbin. They're probably going to even bust out another can of dog food, who knows. When it comes to Roman Reigns' corner, we know the Usos are going to get involved. How do we know this is going to go down? We've seen it go down for weeks and weeks on SmackDown. It's not going to be any different. Roman Reigns is going to pick up the victory here. Why? He's Vince McMahon's boy. He's always going to pick up the victory. Although I think a huge upset win and King Corbin winning clean would be huge, it would be against his character to win clean. And I think Roman Reigns is going to start building a little bit of momentum heading into WrestleMania with this win as well. So put it in the books. Roman Reigns is going to win this Falls Count Anywhere match. The first title of the night is defended as Andrade takes on Humberto Carrillo for the United States Championship. I still do not know where Humberto Carrillo sits with myself. He appears one week, has a really good match, then disappears and we don't see him for a little bit, and then pops up on the scene all of a sudden and skips the queue to get a United States Championship match. I mean, I'd rather see Rey Mysterio and Andrade go at it again. I'm not denying Humberto's talent because the kid has so much of it, but I just don't understand how they can just shove somebody into the United States Championship mix without that big of a build-up. So in saying that, I think Andrade walks out still as the United States Champion, and whether this potentially builds to an Andrade versus Humberto match at WrestleMania, or even Andrade, Humberto, Rey Mysterio, a triple threat match at WrestleMania, which I think has a lot of potential, Andrade is walking out of the Royal Rumble still United States Champion. The first of the women's titles is defended with the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line as Bayley takes on Lacey Evans. I think this is pretty clear cut. I've got a gut feeling of how this is going to go down heading into WrestleMania with Bayley. I see Bayley retaining the championship in this feud, which will end at the Royal Rumble, because deep down inside, I still think Sasha Banks is going to turn on Bayley heading into WrestleMania and set up a Bayley versus Sasha Banks SmackDown Women's Championship match, which is going to see Sasha Banks walk out of WrestleMania as your new SmackDown Women's Champion. That's just the feeling I get. Why do I get that feeling? Ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. This has been the longest Bayley and Sasha have been friends without one of them turning on each other. It's bound to happen because history has dictated that fact. So unfortunately, even though I feel Lacey Evans would do well as a women's champion, her time isn't yet to come. Bayley is going to walk out still SmackDown Women's Champion. The Raw Women's Championship is on the line with Becky Lynch taking on Asuka. And Becky Lynch has never defeated Asuka, which sets up the whole premise of Becky Lynch not being so sure about herself, and Asuka's going to be going into this match with a head of confidence. However, I feel Becky Lynch walks out as champion because this is going to set up a feud heading into WrestleMania with the female that I think is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble match. Once I tell you who I'm predicting for the Women's Royal Rumble, it'll all make sense why I think Becky Lynch is going to walk out still Raw Women's Champion. The Universal Championship is next in line, with The Fiend Bray Wyatt taking on Daniel Bryan in a strap match. Because why wouldn't you want to strap yourselves to somebody who they're building up as this undefeatable monster? Plain and simple here, The Fiend retains. I don't think they would take the title off of Bray Wyatt, being that he is so over with the crowd. He is one of the biggest things about the company right now, and there is more potential having The Fiend on the card for WrestleMania as champion than there is having Daniel Bryan walking into WrestleMania as champion. It'd be a better turn of the script if Daniel Bryan was to leave WrestleMania as champion than to have him being champion to begin with. Just my opinion. Open to interpretation. I don't know what you guys think. That's why the comment section is open to let me know what you think. But in my eyes, The Fiend quite comfortably is going to win this match. Ladies and gentlemen, now's the fun part. Predicting who is going to win the men and women's Royal Rumble matches. I've decided the way I'm going to handle this is I'm not only going to select a winner, but I'm also going to select an outside chance that could prove an upset and win as well. So both of the upcoming matches are going to have 2 predictions overall. And we're going to start with the Women's Royal Rumble. And And the person that I think is going to come up and win is NXT's Shayna Baszler. Why am I going with this selection? You've got to have a look at the past. Survivor Series and the way it went down, especially the ending with Becky Lynch, it has pointed to the fact that Shayna Baszler would eventually take on Becky Lynch for the title, and this is the perfect way to make this come full circle. Not only can they capitalize on this by having Shayna win and go to WrestleMania, but they can later on, when it comes to Survivor Series, finally give us the UFC 4 Horsewomen against the WWE 4 Horsewomen. They've been building up to this for a very long time. This is where they need to capitalize on that fact. My outside chance to win the Women's Royal Rumble match is going to be Alexa Bliss, and I say that because without a shadow of a doubt, when it comes to both in-ring and mic work, she is one of the best female talents that they have. And when it comes to mic work alone, she holds her own as one of the best in the company. Try to argue that fact with me all you want. You're not going to get far, because you know I'm right. I don't see her winning, but I would love to see her at least have a strong showing. Even though she's been paired with Nikki Cross for a while, they need to start pushing Alexa back into the main event scene, and this is the perfect way to do it. Even if it is at the expense of Alexa Bliss eliminating Nikki Cross during the match. Keep your eye on that fact, it might just happen. Let's turn our attention, however, to the Men's Royal Rumble, which I have just read an article online that suggests that Vince McMahon himself is going to make the announcement during the pay-per-view that the Men's Royal Rumble is in fact going to be turned into a 40-man Royal Rumble, adding 10 new superstars to the mix, which I think is absolutely brilliant, because I think they need to capitalize on having more NXT superstars coming up and getting a chance. That being said, the superstar I am predicting to win the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble is the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre. I have been waiting for him to be pushed into the main event scene ever since he came back, did his time in NXT, and made it to the main roster. This year is the year they finally need to push him in the right direction. I'm going to make a call here, and I think this is going to set up the feud whether or not Drew does win the Royal Rumble. If he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, he will at least eliminate Brock Lesnar from the match, which will set up Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. If he does win, I still see him throwing down the gauntlet and challenging Brock Lesnar regardless. WrestleMania is going to see Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre. I feel it. And I feel McIntyre walking out of WrestleMania as WWE Champion. Well deserved, deserves the push, deserves the belt, and will win this year's Royal Rumble. My outside selection to win this match, and I hate to say this, is going to be Roman Reigns. And I hate saying it, I really do. But when I look at the SmackDown superstars and who could potentially go in against The Fiend, something tells me Vince McMahon is thinking The Fiend versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania is a good thing, and Roman Reigns could possibly be the first person to beat The Fiend and take the title off him. I don't know. Something's just telling me that's going to happen. I don't like it, ladies and gentlemen. But something tells me this could be a real possibility. I'm actually hoping as well in this Royal Rumble we see Keith Lee come in, and Keith Lee has a strong showing, because he's got a huge future ahead of him. I can't wait to see him come to the main roster, and I'm very keen to see if him and Roman Reigns throw hands, especially after what we saw at Survivor Series. However, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up my predictions for the 2020 Royal Rumble. Hoping they come true, because that could potentially set up some big matches for the WrestleMania card. But if I'm wrong, we've just kickstarted this entire series in a very negative way. As I said earlier, let me know in the comment section down below who you think is going to come out victorious from these matches at the Royal Rumble. Whether you think my selections are spot on or you're just keen to see this series play out, go ahead and hit that like button. It goes a long way to supporting myself, and I seriously cannot thank you guys enough for all that support. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys backing me, and there are no words to describe how much I appreciate what you guys do for myself in this channel. Again, thank you guys so much. If you happen to be new to the channel, there is plenty of other content to check out. I urge you to do so, and if you happen to enjoy what I'm throwing down, hit that subscribe button and pledge your allegiance to the GodzIrra Nation by doing so. Don't forget to let me know your predictions in the comments below. Hit that notification bell before you leave to get notified each and every time something brand new hits the channel. But that's it from me, guys. I'm out of here, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.